Good afternoon, students. So today's class, we want to continue to learn how to store or display and input and output data. Okay, that's what we're going to learn today. But you've already watched my first video on input and output file. This is just some application of input and output file. Okay, so I want everybody to create a new project. So we're going to name it Para COVID. Okay, Para COVID. I'm just going to give you one example on continuation from the last week COVID cases in Para that I gave you in terms of array. Okay, now at the source file, add item. And you have C++ file. Okay, I shall name the same as Para COVID. Okay. Now having that, let's recall regarding last week. If you already have the last week file, you can just continue. Okay, so last week we did something like that. We want to display the COVID cases data in Para state. Okay, so I showed you how to save as an array. So the data is taken from this is I'm not sure whether this data is accurate or not, but if it's not, then you have to find the exact data. Okay, so we have 1 week of data, which is taken from 19 April to 25 April. And then what we want to do, okay, so if we are given, we want to display the data in terms of array. So I have include iOS stream, and then using namespace std void main, and then I have my main body, open and close main body. Okay, so let's name the variable as cases. I want to show you in terms of array. So my array is 7 by, I want to display in the terms of active cases, recovered cases, and dead cases, right? So 7 days from Monday to Sunday, and then 3 types of data you have, where the first one is active, second one is recovered, and the third one is dead. So these are my variable here. So maybe it's easier to define M7, define N3. So now depends on how you want to display your array. So if you are displaying in terms of A11, cases 11, something like this, okay, that means you must have +1 here because I'm starting from 1. Okay, this is 34, and then I have cases 1 to, let's say, 23, cases 1 3 equals to 1. Okay, and then what do I have? I have the next row, which is 2 1, 56, cases 2 2, 4, cases 2 3, 0. Okay, and then I have cases 3 1, 78, cases 3 2, 45, cases 3 3, 0. Now the next row, I have cases 4 1, which is 89, cases for 2, 34, cases for 3, 1. And then the fifth row, cases 5, 1 equals to 34, cases 5, 2 equals to 22, cases 5, 3 equals to 0. And then we have cases 6, 1, 89, cases 6, 2, 4, cases 6, 3, 1. Okay, lastly, the last row, because it's 7 by 1, right? 7 by 1, 7 days of data. So we have 7, 1, 65, cases 7, 2, which is 32, and last data for the dead cases 7, 3 equals to 0. Okay, these are the similar to what we did last week. Now what we have cout. I want to display something like details of COVID cases recovered and dead. Okay, details of COVID. We have active, recovered, and dead cases in para state. Okay, this is just something like an introduction, something that come out like that. And then what do you want to have here? Let's make a line, okay, to separate this from the next data. Okay, and then we have 3 types, right? The first one, I have active, and then /t to make a tab. Next space will be recovered, tab, and dead. Okay, that's it. End of line. Okay, and then what we have here, let's say we need a for loop because we're going to display this array integer I. I is for my row. Okay, I have 7 rows here. So I less than equal than m. M is for my rows. I plus plus. Okay, this is the loop here. And then because we have 7 by 3, m is for my row, n is for my column. So I will have a nested loop for integer j equals to 1, j less than equal than m, j plus plus. Okay, so I want to display cout cases I, j. Now I have already explained to you on my previous video, okay, on my previous video, how to do this. Okay, if you're not too sure, you have to watch video on the previous class. Okay, there are many ways to display the array, but this is the one I want to do it. Okay, that's it. Now we have to have another cout endl, and then cin.get. Okay, we have completed writing this data. Okay, so I can bring it up. Okay, so make sure there's no red line. Red line shows error. There's no error here. Okay, let's debug this code and see what you get. Okay, looks like no error. So, okay, this is not good here. You know why not good? There is some dummy values here coming out. So we have to adjust the code. Don't worry if you get an error. Okay, now I have to fix this code. Okay, so I think the problem is, let's check the data. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, the data is okay. Start with 1. I is 1. Okay, just what about here? IJ, I have a tab, 2 tab. Doesn't matter if you want to do 1 tab. And then I have C out, end of line. And then C out, end of line. So I don't see any. Oh yeah, look at here. It should be N, not M. Okay, now we can fix this in the bucket. It should be, I hope so, it'll be fine. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so what I want to show you in today's class actually, okay, how can I produce the data as my output file? Okay, that's this, because this is the application of output and input file. So how can I display this as an output file? Okay, display an output file, which is in text.txt. Okay, so because we are displaying an output file, you will have to use, okay, you will have to use include fstream. What is fstream for? Read and write data. Okay, you need the fstream. Okay, now all this data here, I want it to be produced as my output text. So to use the output fstream here, you need to have offstream OFP, and then offstream dot open. Okay, and then I have what do you want to name that output file? Let's say I want to name as cases.out. Okay, then we have iOS. Oops, I'm forgetting a double quotation here. Okay, out. Okay, there you go. This is the command to produce the output text. Okay, so offstream, let's just check. Offstream, not offstream, OFP. Okay, so we start with offstream OFP, and then OFP.open. We want to open the output text, and then there you go. This is the command, and now the text will be saved as cases.ost. Now, if you want this to be appeared in your output, you have to use OFP. Okay, and this will also be OFP, and then this will also be OFP. Okay, and then what happened here? You will have OFP cases, OFP, end of line. Okay, now we need to have something called OFP dot close. Okay, you need to have that. Okay, if you want to use input and output data. Okay, let's see what will happen. Okay, if the code is successful, you won't see anything. It'll be empty here, but your data will be seen here. Open, if I say open a file, make sure it's in the same folder as Perak case. So there you go. See that? Cases.o out. Output file. There you go. This is the output file. Okay, next video I'll show you how to read an input file. Okay, so that's how you produce an output file. Okay, so I'll just repeat. So what you do, if you want to have to display an output text file, you need to use offstream OFP, OFP open, cases.out, ios.out. Okay, this is to produce the output text. And then don't forget, include fstream. Fstream you need to use to read and write data. Okay, then everything will be OFP, OFP, OFP. Okay, like how you want your output. See this one, you can see my cursor here, cases.out. Refer to this name here. You have to be careful when you name your output file. Okay, then whatever you want to display in the output file, if it's a text, instead of cout, you use OFP, OFP, OFP. And then OFP cases refer to this array here. Okay, now with the same file here, I want to show you how can I produce an input text. Okay, the input text. So now let's change it to display an input. Not display, produce. How to produce an input text file. Okay, so we're going to make some modification here. So you still need to have fstream. Okay, now we don't have this offstream OFP, but instead of offstream OFP, it's going to be ifstream. Ifstream. So I'm just going to remove this two. Okay, so it will be ifstream IFP, and then what's going to be, it's going to be like this. Okay, so we have what do you want the name of your input text file? Let's say COVID. Okay, COVID-19 .txt. Okay, now you gotta be very careful, because if you name it as this file, so this is the file that's gonna read your data. It's gonna read it as COVID-19.txt. So what I have, ifstream IFP COVID-19. Okay, it's the name of the file here. Okay, so make sure when you want to name your file, it should be COVID-19. Okay, the rest now you can keep it as cout. I don't have. Okay, this is also cout, and these are also my cout. Okay, so instead of OFP, this will be IFP. IFP cases. Okay, the arrow sign will be facing that side, and you don't have that. You don't need to have any of that. Now I need to have cout. So one will be this one, and then the next one I will have cout. Cout. Okay, cases ij and /t. It depends, maybe just like that. Okay. Okay, and then make sure I have two sentences here, so I'm going to use semicolon here, and this one will be cout end of the line. Okay, I don't need this one now. I can just remove it. So for output file is OFP, for input file is IFP dot close. Okay, so let me check whatever you have written here. So now this is gonna be, so what happened, what I'm trying to do here now, we don't need any of this because this is gonna be in your input file. So I can remove this. Okay, I don't have it. Okay, so I don't have the data now. So I want to read a data from an input file. That's the idea of ifstream. Okay, earlier on, the earlier example you see, is how to produce that data to my output file. Okay, but if stream here is to read the data, the input data. Okay, but where is the data? We have to store the data now. Okay, so if I run it, it'll give me random number because it cannot read the data. Okay, let me just show you what's gonna happen. See, it's giving me all the random values because it cannot read the data. So now we have to create the data. Okay, that's what we're going to do now. So to create the data, what you do here, file, new. Okay, so we can go to file here. Okay, text file, open. Okay, so this is the text file. This is the data that you wanna the file to read. So we have 34 space 23 space 1. Remember, this is for my active cases, recovered cases, and dead cases. Your size is 7 by 3. Okay, so make sure you have 7 rows and 3 columns. Okay, don't put any symbol, anything. Okay, it's gonna just read it column by column, row by row. 89, 34, 1, 34, 22, 0, 89, 4, 1, 65, 32, 0. Okay, let's check. I have 7 by 3 or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. But look at the name of the file here. Text file 1.txt, which is not good. I have to save this as. Now this is what I meant just now, the name. So what's the name you want to give just now? And make sure it's in this folder. This is very important, where this file is, para-covid.cpp. So I gotta find it now. Okay, because if I don't do that, you cannot read the data. Okay, so I think it's here. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Para-covid. So click on that. Now put it inside here. Para-covid. Inside here. Okay, inside here now, you're going to name it as COVID 19. 19.txt. I mean, sorry, in .txt, right? Okay, so save it. Let's see. Let's see, the name here is going to change to, see that? COVID19.txt. Okay, now your name is COVID19.txt. So the code should be able to read your data. Okay, let's debug this. Okay, it succeeded. There you go. Okay, this is what I meant, how you can read the data from an input file. So you can adjust it actually. Okay, but how to adjust it? You just have to have a /t. Okay, double tap here. Let's just do it again, run it again. Okay, there you go. Okay, I can adjust more or just shorten this name. Okay, and yeah, whatever you want to do. Okay, so maybe I can add something like this: active cases, recovered cases, dead cases. Let's see, how do I get now? Okay, so this will be my cout. So this will be displayed in your file. Okay, it's my cout. Okay, so I can put another tab, or yeah, let's try with another tab. I mean, too many tab will make it not. I mean, you can adjust it. I mean, okay, I just want to show you how you can read and input data. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, now remember two things you need to remember. The two things you need to remember. The first thing is, when you create this data, I mean this COVID-19.txt, make sure it's in the folder. Which folder? The folder that you have your COVID-19. So for instance, if I open back my folder here, no, C++, see my Perak COVID. So the name of my file is Perak COVID, right? So this is my Perak COVID. I should have two. We did two things just now. The first thing will be inside here, look at here. I have cases.out, that's my output file, COVID-19. Okay? So it must stay inside this folder. Not somewhere here, but inside the folder. Okay, student always make mistake. Okay, because if it's not inside there, you will not able to, the code will not be able to read the data. Okay, now the other thing is, important thing is the size. Okay, make sure if it's 7.3 and you must have exactly the same iteration here. Okay, because one changes can mess with how the code read your data. Okay, students, so I've shown you in this video the application of input and output file. Okay, output file means you have a set of data here, but you want to transfer to an output text file. Okay, but if you input here means you are recording your data separately. Okay, you don't have to write anything, it's just a number. And then you want to display, you want the code to read that data. This is your input. Okay, read your input. Let me just add it. Input data. Okay, it's not that complicated. Okay, that's all for my video today on application of input and output data for the COVID-19 that you've been working on for so long. Okay, that's all. I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.